Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. Should we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today? Well, we'll be talking, firstly, Happy New Year to you all. Now, this is the first one I'm actually recording in the year of 2023, which, the other one wasn't, it was 2022, and I believe by the time it was uploaded, since most of you in America, you probably wasn't actually 2023 when you watched it, but here we are. Well, welcome to the new year. Very exciting in its own right. And I guess we'll talk about, fireworks and that sort of thing, because if you don't know, that every year London has these very nice fireworks. These are the UK sort of fireworks, and if you don't know, I'm from England, and I got the lucky opportunity to go see the London fireworks yesterday, which is why I was busy, so we'll talk about that in a bit. Anyway, Happy New Year to you all. I can't wait to see what this year brings. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 4:38 p.m. on Sunday, January 1st, 2023. Lovely. Also, shout out to my friends who, I've mildly abandoned them, because we're going to play some Genshin Impact for a little bit, but, I'm here to record this Animal Crossing because, unfortunately, I saw their message a bit too late, and they already started the TFT match. Oh my god. Oh, yes, I forgot. In Animal Crossing, the first day of every year is the sunrise and the sunset are actually visible in the game, because it's like a thing in Japanese culture. Well, I mean, not like sunrise and sunset, something in Japanese culture, but like, it's more like something about like seeing the sunrise and sunset and like Mount Fuji and like an eggplant and an eagle and something like that. I don't really remember the details. You can look it up yourself. I'm sure you'll be able to find it. But anyway, yes, we're going to talk about well, I don't know if we're going to talk about London fireworks necessarily. Why are you here? Oh, probably because you couldn't have been here yesterday. That's why. About London fireworks necessarily, but we are, well, I'm going to talk about it because of there, because got the opportunities, and my friends were like, was on the waiting list for like London fireworks tickets. It was like, oh, Happy New Year. Oh, unavailable yesterday. Oh, okay. 500 miles. And they, regardless, they redo our bonus, which is fantastic. So I think I talked about New Year's resolutions the past few weeks, and I said I don't really have them. I sort of just follow a vague thematic, and that's once been established in that CGP grade video, but even then I don't remember what thematic I chose for each year, so who knows. Basically, I just sort of, I just take it as a general thing to be like, whenever I get a decision to do something good for myself or not something good for myself, I'm like, new year, new me, do something good for myself. But yeah, I suppose having sort of wishy-washy goals isn't really how I work, and having it as a regimented time to do it, while it's certainly nice for some people, it's not really works best for me. I kind of like doing it when I think about it, I suppose when I need to, and I'll try my best to incorporate it into my life. But anyway, that's not the point. We're going to talk about the fireworks show, because it's been, I believe it was the first London fireworks show since 2 years ago or something, because of the pandemic, obviously. You can't have that many people. Well, I mean, you honestly shouldn't probably have that many people even during this time, but it's slowly going back to normal, sort of. I don't know. But yeah, I've never been to it in person. I have, of course, been to fireworks shows on New Year's. Actually, most of the time, it's a UK holiday, but there's a UK holiday called Fireworks Night, which is on the 5th of November, which is, weirdly, it's celebrating someone about trying to overthrow the government and blow up Parliament, which I don't know, but I guess technically it's more like celebrating the fact that he got caught. But anyway, Guy Fawkes, if you want to Google him at some point. That's kind of the main sort of fireworks thing, as well as New Year's. So I've seen a lot of fireworks night, like fireworks. I haven't seen as many New Year's. New Year's is normally, at home, with a glass of champagne, celebrating with family and friends. Family friends being like, cheers, Happy New Year, everyone counts down. We watch the big fireworks display on London TV. The London TV, with TV of a fireworks show that takes place in London. I mean, that's what at least it means to me. I haven't really gone out to see shows, so this is the first time I went out to see shows with a friend. Thank you to shout out to that friend who actually got tickets in the first place. Unsurprisingly, London was insanely busy. Like, London's normally pretty busy, but this was like insanely busy. Today we had a nice little meal, and then we went to the fireworks show quite early, because it was like, you should get there like the gates opened at 8 or something, and obviously the fireworks only start at 12, so you got to wait for like 4 hours or something. So the gates open. We went like at like 8:30 or something, and it was insanely busy. Like we couldn't even get we were in the section which was not like, it was like just like the cheaper section or whatever have you. And I'm not mean disparaging. We still actually got a pretty good view of the fireworks show, I'm not gonna lie. But we couldn't go like right up against a bridge in the Thames area or whatever, because it was just absolutely packed. So we were like 2-3 rows back. Not that it really matters, because it was the thing I said a lot during yesterday night. I was like, it's a fireworks show, most of it's in the air anyway, so you'll probably be able to see most of it regardless. Caveat to that later. We just went out to it. I was like really tired that night, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sure why, if I like slept. I also felt like the contact lens that I was wearing, it was something about, like, I don't know if I put it in wrong or something, but it was really irritating my left eye. So I was basically just like walking around with my left eye shut the entire day, because it was like really irritating me. And then basically we were just there waiting for 4 hours. Not really much of a way of entertainment. We had each other, obviously, so that's what we did. But I spent a lot of time just sort of sleeping. Sleeping more like sort of head bowed, resting my eyes, sitting on the floor. You might be like, oh, you sit on the London floor? Well, I didn't really want to stand up for 4 hours. Not that, there's anything wrong with it necessarily. It's just a bit, if I had an opportunity to sit down, you might as well sit down. Conserve your energy, especially since I was very tired. But yeah, the fireworks show, and I genuinely think it was, you can actually probably go watch it on YouTube. I think I saw it was recommended to me like this morning. It was actually very good. It's actually probably been the best fireworks show that I can recall in recent memory. Because it was a very thematic one. It had a lot of things going on related to this year, which was, kind of what it should be about. Like, it was like, I think the theme was like from London with love or something. It was basically about love in London. It starts out, I can't remember exactly how it starts out. It starts out by celebrating, I'm so bad at football. I wish I remembered like what the team's called, but the women's Euros and like UK or England, I assume, won. You can tell how little I know about sport. Basically, we won some sort of football competition, the women's team, and it was sick. But I basically had no idea about it. I only kind of like, obviously I didn't watch any of it because it's not really my sort of thing, but I'm like, oh, awesome. That's cool. They did something celebrating that, and they did something just being like, we stand with Ukraine. Of course, they didn't phrase it as explicitly like that, but like, we stand, well, I guess, if anything, I should say they didn't phrase it as explicitly. They were much more encompassing to all sorts of people who or countries who undergo like conflict and that sort of thing. And we played the Ukraine, the Eurovision song, and the Ukrainian flag fireworks were actually really cool. Then of course, if you don't know, the Queen Elizabeth II, Her Royal Majesty, passed away earlier this year as well. And there was like a fireworks show like in memorial of her, and it had a very, very nice moment where I said like a bit about like the royal family in Britain, where I'm just like, I basically know nothing about them. They're just sort of, to me, they're just sort of like not, I don't want to say a tourist attraction because they're people, but like, it's sort of like a relic of an older time. But yeah, what was I going to say? I don't really remember what I was going to say. Oh yeah, it was a really moving moment where, there was just like some clips of what she said when there's just like some final thing which she rounded off, which I assume might have been, I don't genuinely know where it's from, I'm gonna be perfectly honest, but then there was just like one firework launched into the sky, exploded, and I was just like, oh, surprisingly moving. Despite the fact me not being at all invested into the royal family or anything like that, but still. That was pretty cool. There was some other things, the LGBT display. It was really cool. A load of rainbow fireworks. They were really pretty, I'm not gonna lie. And all the buildings that at least we saw but I don't even know what building was next to me, because I don't know London that well, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. But there was a building which had like a light up display which changed colours according to what was going on. Like, it was Ukraine coloured, and then it was like Great Britain flag coloured, and then at one point during the LGBT section it was all rainbow coloured, and there was another section at the end and it was just like lots of love. There were like heart-shaped fireworks which were really cool. I didn't know you could do that with fireworks. I thought fireworks could only be like circular or like some variation of circular, but I guess they figured it out. But obviously not the most like clean looking hearts in the world, but very much notable, like not notable but like recognizable as hearts, where I was just like, oh, that's very cute. And there was just loads of hearts, and it just really good, and it was just like a very sort of feel good moment, especially I suppose, if anything, there's much more of an encompassing of like a lot of years of like built up annoyances and grievances, I suppose, for a rather hectic and stressful year for, well, I'm sure many people. So I think it was kind of cathartic, if anything, to be able to see it sort of summarised, maybe not summarised per se in a firework display, but, some of it being both celebrated and held in I don't want to say memorial, because that clearly just means for death, but like held in like tribute, I suppose is a better word, to certain events. Which is pretty cool to see in the first place. You might be like, where did you stand? Again, I didn't stand in like a particularly amazing area. It was sort of like, it was like a skew angle of like, okay, imagine the London Eye, if you just pull it out in your palm in front of you, then just like hold your hand all the way to the right, like 1 meter outwards. It was kind of like at that sort of diagonal angle, so still got to see quite a lot with like kind of downwind from the wind, so a lot of smoke just sort of blew around. But I will say, you know, when fireworks are, you know, I'm not ashamed. I got my phone out and I started recording, recorded the countdown. Then when I went 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, everyone went Happy New Year, and then, you know, turn around to my friends and be like Happy New Year, that sort of thing. And then like I will also say, after like about 20 seconds or so, I put my phone away because, you know, I don't need it there anymore. That's it. I recorded what I need to, but, you know, unsurprisingly, a lot of people were there recording their phones, on their phones. You know, I'm not gonna, you know, it would be hypocritical of me to be like, ooh, let's check out all these people on their phones, because I pulled out my phone as well. I'm gonna be honest. Like, what's the point if you know, these memories, you know, you got to have a balance. Is basically what I say with these sort of things. You know, the technology is fantastic to be able to actually record, recollect, capture these fleeting memories, because, you know, your brain's not going to remember everything as much as you like to try. But it's also important that even though you're trying to use your phone to like take pictures and record a moment, that you actually enjoy the moment as well. So you have those emotions which are like tied up with those photos you take in the first place. At least that's my perspective. So I tried to get a good balance of like enjoying a moment and having photos and videos. And, you know, if you are friends with me in real life, you know how much I take photos and videos. That's part of the reason why, just so I can look back at those moments and be like, oh, remember that time? And then I'll remember the memories that came along with it. But yeah, I was sort of surprised about how many people were recording the entire thing, the entire like display on their phones. Because, like, I get it. You know, even, okay, you know, I said my piece about, like, you know, wanting to cherish those memories of, like, photos and videos and whatnot. I get it. Some people probably want to upload it to social media to be like, heck yes, look at what I'm watching right now, you know, bye-bye 2022, hello 2023, etc., etc. And you might think I'm going to have something disparaging to say about it. No, you know, fair enough. Social media, well, I don't necessarily agree with social media, and it's quite a dangerous... Not dangerous, but the dangers of social media, I suppose, when, you know, especially with interacted with in an unhealthy manner. But also, you know, there are good things to social media, you know, connecting the world. You know, it's nice to see what your friends are up to. It's nice to be able to have some sort of connection, I suppose, in that way, especially for people who won't be able to be connected as easily. I mean, you might even be sitting here being like, I don't even use social media, but, you know, there's a lot of things which count as social media, you know, and Discord probably is one of them, which I imagine a lot of gaming people use. Even if its form is a little bit different from, you know, the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, what am I, like a grammar? But still, I get it. Some people want to record a short video, take photos, go for it, you know, is what I say. But it just sort of surprised me how many people want to take videos of the entire thing. Like, 30-second clip, makes sense. Upload it to your story, perfect. Bada bing, bada boom. People know you're here, whatever, you know. Obviously, people are not recording it, and unless you're a professional, like, recorder, you know, you were hired by, you know, the BBC or whoever to actually do the proper video which people see on YouTube and televise it to the world. You're not hiring it for that quality. You're hiring it for your own perspective, I suppose, to sort of remember those memories. But it's amazing how many people recorded the entire thing. And I say this notably because there was a woman in front of me, and I don't need to like cast any like shade on her or anything, but she did record the entire thing on her phone. And I remember just sort of like looking at her phone and being like, it's really like, it doesn't display the fireworks properly. Like, it gets kind of washed out and there's lots of smoke. It picks up all the smoke, but it doesn't pick up the lights as well. It looks very blurry. And like, I've had my fair share of like taking photos of fireworks before. I've been to a fireworks show, I've taken photos. I used a firework photo I'd taken as my photo background for a huge amount of time, because you can get good shots of fireworks. But it was just like, you know, I was just looking at it being like, I felt like if I was her, you know, and I was recording it, I'd look back at the recording and be like, I kind of want to see my friends I was here with, you know. So I took a little video, recorded their faces and that sort of thing. That's the sort of thing, you know, that I've learned at least from taking these videos and that sort of thing, is that I very much appreciate the videos, not of the places I went to, you know. It's nice to have a video or photo of a place I went to, but I prefer the photo and videos with the people I was with at that place more. But that's, you know, a personal thing. Not everyone's like that. Fair enough. But no, it was just fortunate because the main thing I want to say, I'll comment on her, that she held, like, there was a big crowd in front of her, and she was, you know, I'm going to guess about 5 foot or something, 5 foot something. She held her phone above her head, like with both arms outstretched for like the entire like 20-minute or nearly the entire 20-minute show. And I was just like, that's incredible. Like, my arms would be so dead after doing that. And you might be like, I have something disparaging to say about the fact she blocked my view. She didn't actually block my view, you know. I could actually like squat, and I looked like between the distance, not the gap between her head, the top of her head, and the camera, I could actually see what was going on anyway. So, you know, didn't really block my view. But mostly, you know, point one, I was mostly surprised, being like, wow, I can't believe she's actually holding her arms up like this entire time. That's so tiring. And two, I was sort of like, I'm not sure if the video looks that great. I'm sorry to say. Anyway, but there was also another woman next to me who had like a professional camera or whatever, and she was taking, I assume, photos and videos of it, which I don't know how hers turned out. I couldn't see her viewfinder, but probably they turned out quite nice. Or maybe, you know, that woman's going to do some post-processing on that video and they're going to look fantastic. I don't know. I'm not here to judge. Says me judging aspersions anyway. I don't mean to judge, is probably what I mean to say. Anyway, the whole fireworks show was super cool. It's really nice to see fireworks in person. You know, I'm sure a lot of people, you know, they are fireworks people, they're not fireworks people. You know, it depends how much you like really loud noises, I suppose, and bright displays. Loud noises, I can take it or leave it, but, you know, bright displays of, you know, creativity and artwork, of course I'm kind of all there for, you know, the spectacle of it, you know, despite the dangers of Nope, I suppose, warning us about giving into a spectacle. It's just enjoyable to watch, I think. And yeah, it's super cool to see it in person, basically, is a long and short of what I was saying. Were there any other cool moments? There were like food and drinks there. The food and drinks were insanely expensive, unsurprisingly. Like one of my friends went to buy some like chicken nuggets and chips, and the chicken nuggets and chips cost £15 for 6 chicken nuggets. Mind you, better than usual chicken nuggets, I would say. I did have one. He very generously gave me one. Because they were kind of more like fried chicken, sort of like chicken nuggets. That's the sort of like resemblance it gave me. Again, they're still just from like a food van, so they're not like, you know, Michelin star or anything. Not to say there aren't food vans which are Michelin star, but still. And the chips were like £6 or £7 or something, which is absurd, I would say. Price-wise, it was not that much, and you might be like, whoa, did they give you like a Five Guys amount of chips? Not really. But, you know, they probably make a huge amount of money during those sort of times, like those events. You know, the amount of like upcharge they can actually give to their services, which is fair enough. They're working on like New Year's like day, you know, they don't exactly get the greatest view of a fireworks show. They kind of had to like, well, I don't know how many people are particularly ordering food during a fireworks show, so maybe they do get at the moment just to watch a fireworks show, but it's stressful, you know, it's holiday pay, isn't it? Very much so. So yeah, you know, fair enough I've ever charged such surcharge. And then, you know, absolute mass of people just like leaving, you know, after the fireworks show was over. We tried to beat the crowds, we didn't particularly beat the crowds. There was a lot of like, you know, people on the train, and like a lot of, let's say, someone drank a bit too much on the train probably, and yeah, that smelt. And we promptly moved to a different area of the train, and yeah, apart from that, it was a pretty cool experience, you know, in 2023. You know, I didn't really talk much about 2023, but I suppose like fireworks show in the first place is pretty cool. And then I watched a video today, and I didn't realise there was a whole like drone show, is that the right word, going on, like in front of, I don't even know what building it is, to be honest, and I didn't really pay enough attention, but it was like not seeable from that angle. And I was like, wow, the drone show is pretty cool, because I believe in past years the pandemic had the drone show going on because, you know, they couldn't really do anything else, you know, pandemic times is like, it's a bit difficult to swing things either which way, because, you know, lockdown. I suppose I don't really know where I was going with this, but you know what I mean. So, you know, it's cool that they managed to combine the two together to make a even grander spectacle of everything. But yeah, apart from that, I'm going to round off this episode here, I think. And I don't really have much to say in the first place, but happy 2023 to you. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares are greatly appreciated. Twitter and Discord down below. Hope we see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now, and happy 2023.